Welcome to this presentation on ETPES, the Electronic Teacher and Principal Evaluation System for Fall 2016. This presentation will also include information on the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System as it will appear in ETPES. In order to advance the slides, just simply click your mouse and you may click on the speaker icon to hear the narration. Our presentation today will go over many things. We'll look at the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System components, including the Professional Growth or Improvement Plan, observations and ratings, and the metrics of student outcomes. We'll look at ETPES and what has to happen for setup, including the rubric or rubric alignment, options for forms, the frequency of evaluation for teachers, framework selections for teachers, and the use of an MOU for teachers and principals, and student growth measures for teachers and principals. We'll also look at the requirements for ETPES and timelines for evaluation. The purposes for today's training will be to provide an overview of ETPES setup and use for the 2016 and 2017 school year. That setup will include the review of the requirements of the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System and will provide you information regarding the different requirements for the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, the Ohio Principal Evaluation System, and the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System. The passage of House Bill 64 in July 2015 directed the State Board of Education to develop and adopt a standard-based framework for the evaluation of school counselors. The bill further directed each school district Board of Education to adopt a school counselor evaluation policy by September 30th, 2016 that conforms to the state board framework. That House bill is now Ohio Revised Code 3319.113. Our next slides will discuss the requirements of this law. The law requires that school counselors are evaluated under the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System. But you may be asking, who is considered a school counselor? School counselors are licensed according to the Ohio Revised Code 3301.24.05, and they have completed a master's degree program and an extensive internship. From legislation, the State Board of Education was required to adopt a standards-based framework by May 31st, 2016 for the evaluation of school counselors. That has occurred. Part of that framework and legislation requires that the school counselor must demonstrate the ability to produce positive student outcomes using metrics, including those from school report card data when appropriate. Key provisions of the law state that the school counselor evaluation system must be aligned with the Ohio standards for school counselors. It also requires school counselors to demonstrate their ability in all the areas identified by those standards. So that means all standard areas are evaluated for the school counselor. The school counselor has to be evaluated annually, but there is a less frequent evaluation option that's similar to the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, less frequent evaluation option for those teachers and school counselors who have earned a rating of skilled or accomplished. The ratings of ineffective, developing, skilled, and accomplished will be used for the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System. At the local level, districts must adopt a school policy regarding the evaluation of school counselors no later than September 30th, 2016, and annually report on the implementation of the school counselor evaluation policy. ETPES will be used for this reporting. School counselors must clearly demonstrate their ability to positively impact student outcomes. The school counselor and evaluator should collaboratively predetermine metrics that they will use for this portion of the evaluation rubric at the beginning of the evaluation cycle. It is recommended that the school counselor and evaluator select metrics that most clearly reflect the work of the school counselor being evaluated. The data from the student outcome metrics must be available prior to the close of the evaluation cycle for the school year, though. The student outcome metrics do not have to match the standard area goal on the professional growth plan, but it is recommended that the student outcome metric is supported by the performance goal when writing the professional growth plan. The evaluation rubric does include a seventh area. This seventh area focuses on the metrics of student outcomes. The school counselor will provide data demonstrating that students' skills, knowledge, or behaviors have positively changed as a result of the school counselor's activities. The school counselor must clearly demonstrate the ability to positively impact student outcomes. As stated before, the school counselor and evaluator should collaboratively predetermine the metrics that they'll use for this portion of the evaluation rubric at the beginning of the evaluation cycle. Please keep in mind that the data from the student outcome metrics must be available prior to close of the evaluation cycle for that school year. For additional information, you can consult the Ohio School Counselor Evaluation System model, where you will find a sample table of the metrics of student outcomes and other additional information on this topic in the appendices. A rating from that seventh area of the rubric, which focuses on metrics of student outcomes, will be entered into ETPES. Take a moment to examine the rubric that focuses on student outcomes. Notice under Skilled, the school counselor clearly demonstrates a positive change in students' knowledge, behavior, or skills within at least one student domain. In order to earn the accomplished rating, the school counselor will clearly demonstrate a positive change in students' knowledge, behavior, or skills within the 3 student domains. Those domains focus on academics, career, and social emotional skills.